Looks like we're up and running. Alrighty, well, we are back again. Continuing on with some more Pokemon Run&Bun Hardcore Nuzlocke. Picking back up, continuing in the Space Center portion here. We've gone through majority of the trainers. There's not too many in this section, but there's the two main beasts that are left. We have the 3 consecutive back-to-back fight that's I have next, and after that is the space tag battle. So both of which are a little scary. There is some risk. I already looked over them. I pretty much have a game plan for both. And I should be good to go, barring some bad luck. But majority of the time, we should be able to come out of these 2 fights relatively fine. So I have the 3 back-to-back fight already prepped here. So this is the team I'm rocking for all 3 fights. That you're not allowed to swap team or heal in between all 3 fights. So a very, very lovely combination. And it's a Team Magma, so they also got some BS items like focus bands and bright powders. You know, the works, so. But yeah, why don't we... love to be able to knock these 2 things out. And then after this, we can make our way over to Satopolis City, which would be very nice. So, yeah, let's go ahead and take down the rest of Team Magma here. What's up in the chat, you guys? Hunterism, Jay Scrippin. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys are having a good day today so far. So we just beat Courtney here, so I think the second we go through the door, the fight starts. So let me save first. Jace, this is a ROM hack of Pokemon Emerald called Run&Bun. It's currently considered one of the hardest ROM hacks of a Pokemon game currently out. And I'm doing a Nuzlocke challenge where if any of my Pokemon faint in battle, they're considered dead, I can no longer use them. And every fight in this game is quite the challenge to try to puzzle around, so... These next 3 fights that I'm gonna do back-to-back have to be done in a very particular way, so... Let me just double-check my calcs one last time, making sure I'm not missing anything. I think we're good here. Hopefully I planned everything out well enough. Alright, let's go ahead and do this here. Triple check my items one last time. Lost, Sharp Beak, Citrus, pre-burn, no item. Oh wait, no. Oh, good thing I checked. I need I need a person berry. for Glide Score. That's very important. Good thing I remember that. Alright, let's go ahead and do this here. You're outnumbered 3-1, but you still want to take us on? Sure, why not? Alright, so first of the 3 grunts, he leads an Armaldo that has Sword Stance and is holding a Bright Powder, making your moves 10% less accurate, which is pretty annoying to work around. Right now I can't use Sword Stance because my Excadrill shows that it outspeeds in 2 shots. So instead it's going to go for its highest damaging move, with this, which should be Earthquake. So I'm going to swap to my Corviknight to be immune to the Earthquake here. Yep, perfect. Alright, and now my Corviknight is holding a Sharp Beak to again show that I outspeed and can 2-shot with Brave Bird. So again, it can't use Sword Stance. So it's going to use its highest damaging move, which in this case is Rock Blast. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go for a Feather Dance, just to increase my odds of surviving multiple Rock Blasts here. So we'll Feather Dance first to start and see how much damage we take. So Rock Blast. Ideally, we don't see crits or take as little of these as much. Oh, perfect. That's the most ideal case. Alright, so because we took such little damage, I'm going to now go for a Defog, which will lower Armaldo's evasiveness, counteracting the effects of the Bright Powder. So we'll go for a Defog here. It's going to go for another Rock Blast. Oh, another 2-hit. Wow. That's very nice. Alright, so I am now going to I mean, I could Roost to full. Yeah, I might as well. Because when I use Roost, I lose my Flying type, which makes Rock Blast deal non-effective damage. So this will just try to have me be as full health as possible, because I'm basically gonna use Brave Birds to take it out and heal with Roost in between to whittle it down. And Brave Bird has a pretty good chance of KOing with twice majority of the time. So we'll go for Roost, and then Brave Bird Roost until Armaldo's dealt with. So there's another Rock Blast. This will deal a lot less. Yeah, so it was worth it there. More optimal in a sense. So now I'm gonna go for a Brave Bird. If this deals more than half, then the next Brave Bird should be a guaranteed KO. And that looks to be about lower than half. Oh, there's a crit. Nice. Alright, so again now, I'm just gonna Roost back up to full, and then do another Brave Bird. Nice. Alright, now, majority of the time, I think it's like a 95% chance that the second Brave Bird should KO the Almaldo here. Alright, perfect. Alright, so Almaldo is taken down. Next up is a Rotom Heat, who's got Overheat with a White Herb to restore its special attack drops. It's also got Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, and Will-O-Wisp. So it wants to also status you. So, but right now it sees a guaranteed KO with Overheat, so it's most likely going to go for that. Sometimes Thunderbolt. I'm going to swap to my Hydreigon, who is pre-burned, so that way I can't get statused with either Thunderbolt or Will-O-Wisp. So I'll go Hydreigon here. Yep, so there's an Overheat. Ideally, we don't see any crits here. So, yeah, so there's its White Herb. We'll take a bit of burn. So now we're gonna go. We can KO with a Dark Pulse into Draco. Ideally, we see this Dark Pulse flinch here. If not, ideally we don't see another Overheat crit. Alright, so no flinch. Ideally, no crit here. Oh, get the crit. That's not going to bode well for later. Alright, but it should still be fine. We're going to go for a Draco now for the KO. Alright. And that's the first of the 3 fights down. Alright, so second Magma Grunt. This guy leads a very scary Machamp that has no guard and Dynamic Punch to deal a lot of damage and to confuse you, as well as Stone Edge that can never miss, and Bulk Up. And it's also holding a Quick Claw, so 20% chance to just move first always if you don't use a priority move. So to deal with this guy, right now it always sees a KO with Dynamic Punch, so it's always going to use that. I'm going to swap to my Gliscor, who can take it pretty well. And I'm holding a Person Berry to heal me from the confusion that Dynamic Punch gives you. And ideally we don't see, again, a crit here. So, Dynamic Punch. Take it pretty well. We confuse. Alright, so we're not confused. And what's important is that we use the item, so now Acrobatics goes back to dealing full damage. Unfortunately, this Acrobatics is not a guaranteed KO. It's about an 81% chance. We should be still fine majority of the time. It's going to go for Stone Edges. If we get very unlucky with like multiple Quick Claw crits from a Stone Edge, we could be in a little bit of trouble here. But majority of the time we outspeed and should one-shot with Acrobatics. Alright, no Quick Claw. And we get the KO. Perfect. Alright. Alright, so next thing is a Talonflame. And this thing has Acrobatics boosted with a Flying Gem, and has Sword Stance, and Will-O-Wisp. Right now, it doesn't see a KO, so it can Sword Stance. But it could also just attack or use Will-O-Wisp. Ideally, it either attacks or Will-O-Wisps. If it does Sword Stance, it should still be fine, but ideally we don't see that here. So I'm going to swap to Arcanine, and ideally it doesn't go for Sword Stance. If it goes for Will-O-Wisp, that would be best case scenario. Yeah, perfect. Alright, that was the ideal move, so now it's just gonna go for Acrobatics, and I can just KO with Rock Slide. Alright. So take out the second grunt. Alright, now we just have the third grunt, which is the scariest of the three. Alright. So, for this grunt, to start off with, he leads a Bisharp, which, because I led with my Excadrill, I can just simply outspeed and one-shot with an Earthquake. It doesn't have any priority, it doesn't have any focus held items, so we'll just go for the KO with Earthquake here. Alright. So now is a Guzzlord, and this thing is the scariest part of the fight because this Guzzlord is holding a Focus Band, which just gives it a 10% chance to always live at 1 HP no matter what. Very annoying, but right now the Guzzlord here sees highest damage on my Excadrill with Earthquake. So, what I'm gonna do is, let's see, because I took not so much damage on my Gliscor, the play here is to go to my Gliscor on an incoming Earthquake here. Perfect. Alright, and now, with no item held on my Gliscor, Guzzlord's highest damaging move that it sees is with Dragon Rush. So, knowing that, what I can do is I could U-turn, which not super necessary, but could go for it. Let's see, I could also potentially go for knockoff here at this point. But I think I want to reserve HP for Gliscor later, so yeah, I'm just gonna go for a U-turn. Swap out. And on the Dragon Rush, I'm gonna swap to my Primarina. Perfect. Alright, so now, at this point, Moonblast always KOs, but again, it has the Focus Band. Majority of the time, I'm just going to click Moonblast and it dies. What could happen is if it gets a Focus Band proc, what I could do is then I could use Flip Turn to damage and swap out. If Focus Band procs again, I can go back to Gliscor and do another U-turn into Prim and just keep switching back and forth until it dies. If I get 1 in a trillion bad luck, then we could be in trouble, but majority of the time, we just KO with Moonblast here. Yep, there we go. Very easy. Alright. So all that's left now is a Weezing. This Whizzing just has a stall set that it's holding a black sludge. It's got Sludge Bomb and Flamethrower, and it also has Will-O-Wisp and Protect. Right now, it's either gonna majority of the time go for Sludge Bomb, sometimes use Will-O-Wisp since Flip Turn is a physical attacking move. I am going to swap, or it could also Protect, I believe. Either way, I'm just gonna swap directly to my Excadrill. If it does go for Will-O-Wisp, then I'm holding a Rossberry to cure from the burn. Yeah, so there's a Will-O-Wisp. So, perfectly fine. And now from here, I believe it's checkmate because, if it does go, it's gonna either use Flamethrower or Will-O-Wisp again. But if it does burn me, 2 Iron Heads, even after a burn, will always KO here. And ideally, we just see an Iron Head flinch here. That would be pretty sick. Let's see, Metallica, do you got it in you? Let's see it flinch here. Ah, there you go. Good job, buddy. We love to see that. Alright, so another Iron Head just kills her. Oh, it could also protect too. Doesn't matter. Yeah, keep refilling your HP all you want. Let's see, are you gonna go double protect? You do get the double protect. Wow. How lucky of you. Alright, but now you're done. Alright, there we go. Very nice. Whew, alright. So there's the triple back-to-back dealt with. All that's left now is the space tag battle with Maxie and Tabitha. Very notoriously scary fight in this game because, at least from what I've seen, I don't think I've seen an attempted fight of this that was completely riskless. I could be wrong. Someone might have done it, but at least from like the people who've played this game that I've seen, you're at the very least risking a crit into some more bad luck. So yeah, very scary fight. But we're gonna be using one of the more traditional strategies for this fight. You can only bring 3 party members because you're going to be partnered with Steven, who does lead, who does have 3 pretty good mons of his own. And the way the fight works is that as long as Steven is alive and you win the battle, even if all of your 3 mons on your side faints, as long as Steven is left alive and the battle is beaten, then you don't fight. Because you don't white out if Steven still wins. So, for this, I believe my game plan here is to use my Kangaskhan. Queen, what are you doing there? You don't belong in box 1. Octillery making his big debut. And then I believe we're gonna use Charizard. And for this fight, I'm going to swap out my leftovers for a choice specs. So let me go do that. Get the leftovers back. Let's go swap out. Alright, so let's get the choice specs. And we're gonna give those choice specs to my Omastar. Oh, no, not Omastar. It's what's his face? Octillery. I'm gonna give the Silk Scarf to Kangaskhan, and I will give a Citrus Berry to Charizard. And the next thing I need to do is teach Brick Break to Charizard. Teach it over Fire Punch because it's a flex slot move. Alright, now we can go back to Monsdeep. Alright, and then the leveling up for this matters. So for this fight, it was actually very good that I didn't level up my my Octillery, because it allows for ideal baiting. So I'm just gonna look over the calcs one last time. Because there is one thing that could happen. One thing of bad luck, which we do not want. And I'll need to make sure I know what to do if it does happen, so. Let's see. Kangaskhan. Where's Octillery? Oh, there you are. And then Charizard. Alright, so we're gonna take a look at this for a little bit. My background image here. Alright, and I need to use the restroom, so I'll be right back. so let's see. The thing I need to be careful for. The calc here. I think for my backup strategy, it might actually be better to go with Charizard takes less damage from Ferrothorn, but Gyarados might be the better option. Oh no, I can't use Gyarados. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I have to go with Charizard. So, and I want to give him a Citrus Berry. And then, let me see, do I need to level up my... Do I need to level up my Kangaskhan? I don't think I do. Let me just double check. Deal at least 15.7% damage to the Landorus. Yeah, with Silk Scarf we don't need to level him up because he's already a plus attack nature. That is fine. And then, but I do need to pre-damage him to... at least 180 HP to show fast KO from Tyranitar. So let me do that. Cool. Well, actually, no, oh no, I have to go lower, because Tyranitar is not Mega'd yet on the first turn, so I actually have to go down to 150. I could also just pre-damage to just 1 HP if I want to be safe. Yeah, because it really doesn't matter what HP my Kangaskhan's at. I just need it to die. Turn 1. And then let me just double check Choice Specs damage here. Yeah. Alright, this should all be good. Still a very scary fight, but as long as we get some above average luck, or more than above average, I should say, we should come out fine. So, there they are, let me save. Silk Scarf, Choice Specs, Citrus Berry. Alright, I think this is good to go. Let me update the trainer battle information here. Yeah, so there's the very scary tag battle that we have to face. Okay. This will be another huge milestone to get past if we can come out on top. But let's go ahead and do this here. He just kicked Steven. Yeah, let's do this. Alright, so again we can only, so number first one is Kangaskhan, second is, and then let's triple check, I deleted Ice Beam, perfect. Second, third. Let's do this. So we got both Maxie and Tabitha fighting them both at the same time, partnered with Steven. What we're going to be doing, which is a very common strategy here, is that Steven's Dialga here has the move Trick Room, which it'll always set up turn 1, because it doesn't see a KO, and it sees that we're slower. So, to start off with, let me just double check that, actually. Okay, yeah. Yeah, so Dialga is always going to go for set up a Trick Room which we can use to our advantage. The problem is that the Landorus always sees a KO on the Dialga. It'll always go for that. So to prevent Landorus from KOing the Dialga, I'm going to use Fake Out on my Kangaskhan to flinch it. And then the Tyranitar, we need to prevent it from using the move Taunt, which it could also use on the Dialga since it sees that it has Trick Room. So to prevent that, I just have my Kangaskhan at 1 HP so that the Tyranitar will always go for the KO on the Kangaskhan rather than using Taunt. So Fake Out will flinch Landorus. We'll get KO'd by the Tyranitar, and then Dialga will set up Trick Room for us. Good. Fake Out. Yep. We got KO'd. Worthy Sacrifice here, and then Trick Room sets up. Alright, so now everyone's speeds are inverted. So what that allows us to do is I can bring in my Octillery, which is normally very slow, but in Trick Room, outspeeds everything. And with a Choice Specs, deals monstrous damage with Water Spouts. Now, the thing that I really want to have happen here is Water Spout will always KO Landorus, but I need this Water Spout to not crit Tyranitar because I need Dialga to use its Dragon Gem so that after this turn we bait in Moltres and not the Ferrothorn. If we crit kill the Tyranitar, Ferrothorn comes in early, and that's going to cause a lot of problems for us. And that from that point, we'll have to steer. But if we don't crit the Tyranitar, we're basically smooth sailing. So we're going to go for the kill. Unfortunately, crit is a guaranteed KO, so we really do not want to see crit here. So Octillery, don't clutch up and get a crit, please. Alright. Don't crit, please. Perfect! Whew! Alright. So now that's really good. So now Dialga uses its Dragon Gem, and this should always take out Tyranitar. Perfect. Alright, now we get the correct baiting here. Alright. Octillery's going to take a little bit of chip from Sandstorm, but that's accounted for. We're going to see Garchomp and Moltres. Perfect. So this is what we wanted, because now in this position, we should be at 2 at 11. Because I kept my Octillery under-leveled, both the Garchomp and Moltres here have the move Protect. However, because my Octillery is under-leveled, after the Sandstorm chip, Moltres always sees a KO on my Octillery with Hurricane. So because it sees a KO, it'll never use Protect. So both of them are going to go for an attack, but we're both going to outspeed and KO with a Water Spout plus Dragon Pulse from Dialga here. So again, we're gonna get 2 more KOs here. So Mega Garchomp, we Water Spout. Moltres always dies. And then Dragon Pulse takes out Garchomp. Alright. Really, really good so far. We level up, which should be fine. Alright, Trick Room's still up for us. Alright, so now the 2 things that are left are a Ferrothorn and a Heatran. So the reason why I wanted to bait this Ferrothorn last is because with the Trick Room setup, this Ferrothorn actually is slower than my underleveled Octillery. So in Trick Room, it's actually faster. And always sees a one-shot with Power Whip. So knowing that, I'm going to swap to my Charizard to take an incoming Power Whip here from the Ferrothorn. Yeah, Power Whip, and the Dialga should always KO Ferrothorn with Flamethrower. And then Heatran's gonna most likely go for a random move here. Oh, yes, he missed Magma Storm. Nice. Alright, so now it's just Heatran left. In this position, I could keep Charizard in, but because in this position, I would much rather not risk my Charizard. I'd rather just go back to Octillery and just 1v1 the Heatran with that. If it gets KO'd, it's perfectly fine. Octillery is not really used much after this point, so because the Heatran can Magma Storm my Charizard, which will prevent us from switching out. So I'm just gonna go back to Octillery here. Daga goes for Aura Sphere. Yep, it goes for Earth Power. Alright, now at this point, I believe Octillery lives no matter what. Even a crit from the Heatran. So I can just go for an Octazooka. And no matter what, Heatran will die here. Oh, there is that crit. Alright. And there's Space Tag. Woo-wee! Let's frickin' go. Man, Octillery, you clutched up there, buddy. Thank you for not critting. And that's how you deal with a very scary fight. Alright. So, I believe that's the last bit that you have to deal with Team Magma for the rest of the game. And after beating them, we get a special reward from Steven. Let's see. Where's his house at? Is it this one? Nope. There we go. Alright, so a gift. He gives us HM for dive. So now we're able to dive. We get a Coelixite, which is useless to us. But we also get... Because of the dive, we now have access to the second scanner item, which allows us a second choice item. So we can get 2 of those awesome items at a time. Alright. So very, very nice. Very, very happy. This is... Oh, I can't believe I'm this far into the run. At this point now, we just gotta go to Sutopolis and then take on Seafloor Cavern, which is the last of the evil team sections. And then it's just the 8th gym, and then we make our way to Victory Road. So yeah, we're coming pretty close. So but I'm gonna end there for now. Because I don't want to calc anything after those couple fights. But I really appreciate anyone who stopped by to watch. I hope everyone has a great rest of their day, and I'll see everyone in my next stream.